Forget what you heard. Yeah, boy!
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Forget What You Heard. I'm Aaron.
And I'm Luke.
You know what time it is, you know what day it is. We're about to go over Week 5 matchups like you've never heard them before.
Yes, sir, man. We're going through these matchups like John Gruden's emails, baby.
Yes, sir, man. Do we want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I do. I want to bring that up.
Yeah.
It's big news, you know?
Huge, yeah. Big surprise.
You know, we got Raider Rick, John Gruden, being extroduced out of the Raiders organization. You know, a lot of terrible, terrible things were being said in his emails. I don't know how it was leaked. I don't know what happened. But sources say a lot of negative energy, a lot of rude stuff, a lot of unkindly things were being said in him. And he's no longer the Raiders head coach, man. Resigned. They're looking on for brighter, better days. You know, no more of that John Gruden, you know, jungle juice in the locker room with Richie Incognito, man.
Yeah, I mean, if this was any other head coach, I'd be pretty surprised. But just knowing that it was John Gruden, it doesn't really shock me. He seems like one of those guys that's kind of, you know, weathered and isn't PC in the slightest bit and doesn't really, you know, have a filter.
He's like an old head. He's not afraid to say what he thinks.
Yeah,
and
he's like real traditional, weird.
Yeah.
He doesn't like the changes to all this. But I heard the story that, like, what's his name? Mark Davis went to the stadium and was, like, looking for John Gruden, like, asking around, like, where's John at?
Yeah.
I guess John was hiding in the restroom again.
He was?
He knew it was coming, man.
Was he in the stalls?
Yeah, I think that's where he got fired.
I'm sure he found him with his jeans on his ankles.
Yeah, and then I guess after he was fired, the ground crew found some feces on the field. Looks like John Gruden had the last laugh, which is very appropriate. But
that's a fulfillment, man.
Yeah,
we brought that one to life, and he came through on it.
Yeah, I didn't want it. I mean, I didn't want it to go down like that, but it seems like it had to be done. I mean, you can't. I know it was like 2011, but you know.
Yeah, it just sucks that it happened so quickly, man. You heard about it like Sunday, and then he resigned Monday afternoon. And it's just like kind of shocking still. I know, I mean, rightfully so. You know, he doesn't have a job right now because of it. But just John Gruden all of a sudden isn't in the NFL. You probably don't hear from him ever again. And it's just crazy because, I mean, he's a great coach. I mean, I'm going to say that. I mean, he had a great run with the Bucs, great run with the Raiders for a short time. But it's come to an end. No more John Gruden jokes, maybe occasionally. But we're going to have to find one of those new guys, man. We still got Richie. We still got Incognito. But we're going to be looking for another guy. It's going to come up, you know, very easily.
Oh, no. John Gruden's going to be the butt of the joke a lot of times on this. And I think this will probably play into it. We can use this against him. But, yeah, John Gruden, you know, sayonara.
Yeah.
Good luck on your next adventure. Hopefully you kind of
learn.
You know, chill. Live and learn, man. But let's get into these Week 5 games, man. Let's go to Thursday night.
Thursday, man. Bring it on.
A divisional game for the ages.
Football games.
It was the Los Angeles Rams versus the Seattle Seahawks. Rams take this one 26-17.
It's a doozy.
Let's go through the stats for the Rams. Matt Stafford, 25 of 37, 365 big ones. A touchdown and a pick. Darrell Henderson, 17 carries, 82 yards, a touchdown. Very efficient. Ooh, Sony. 11 carries, 37 yards, and a touchdown. Whoa. We got a Bob Woods sighting. Robert Woods, man. We knew it was coming. We knew what we were getting ourselves into. 14 targets, 12 receptions, 150 yards. Cooper Kupp, 10 targets, 7 catches, 32 yards. Deshaun Jackson, 1 catch, 68 yards. Higbee got into the end zone. Yeah, it was a Robert Woods game, man. We've been waiting for it, and it finally came to fruition.
Yeah, Robert finally popped his head out of the woods, man.
Yeah.
You know,
He sure did, buddy.
they got him involved early and often, man. That's kind of what they should be doing from the get-go. Cooper Kupp's had a great season, a great start of the year. But Robert Woods is one of them doctors. You know, he'll do the blocking. He'll sacrifice his body for the team. But there has to be a reward for this. He has to get the big dollars because doctors get paid them big dollars for doing the heavy-duty stuff. Robert Woods came through early and often. He was open, you know, that little 15, 20-yard in. You know, he'd find an open space there. And just getting him involved, it did the Rams wonders. I know it looked like they were trying to force it, but it's taken, you know, a lot off Cooper Kupp and given some over to Robert Woods, deservingly so. He's a great player.
Robert Woods is a heck of a player.
He's a stud.
He's just a good all-around player. You know what I
Real
mean?
life.
So that's why
Yeah.
me and you both, you know, agree that, you know, he's bound to break out one of these days.
Yeah, and we both appreciate him because he's a great you want him on your football team.
And someone else I want to shout out is Darrell Henderson, man.
Mm-hmm.
He's a good running back, man. I don't care what people say.
I agree.
He's stellar. He's a good player, good young guy.
He's real good, yeah. Go trade for him in your fantasy leagues.
Yeah, it was the Rams just played an all-around solid game, man.
Yeah.
Let's go to the Seahawks, shall we?
Sure.
Russell Wilson, 11 of 16, 152 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. He had that gruesome finger injury. Hit his hand on the helmet of Aaron Donald.
Aye.
He looked like he had arthritis in his hand for 17 years and never got it fixed.
Looked bad, man.
Geno Smith came in to relieve him. He was 10 of 17 to 131 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. He looked good on the 98-yard drive. He was spinning that pigskin, man.
Can Geno keep him afloat?
That remains to be seen. I don't know. That's a very good question. We'll see. Alex Collins, 15 carries, 47 yards. Oh, little Geno, 3 carries, 23 yards. Got a little leg action in there. DK Metcalf, 5 targets, 5 receptions, 98 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Tyler Lockett, 10 targets, 5 catches, 57 yards. That's all we got along the receiving front in terms of the Seahawks. But let me ask you a question here, bud.
Sure.
Geno Smith being the quarterback for the foreseeable future, does that affect Tyler Lockett? Is DK the guy? It looked like, I just noticed the 10 targets for Tyler Lockett, but I don't know how that split was between Russell and Geno, but it looked like DK was the guy, but I'm not sure looking at these targets how it's going to be. You think it's going to be even split, like the same thing, or DK is going to be the guy?
I think it more so helps DK, but I think overall it downgrades the both of them.
Yeah, because it's Geno.
Yeah, you go from Russell, one of the greatest deep ball passers in NFL history, to a solid backup. You know, Geno's done some things for the Jets. He's definitely a reliable backup. But I think it benefits DK in a way that, you know, Geno's a backup. So he's going to come in, he's going to look to find his big number one receiver, safe option. He'll make the play for you a lot of times. And I'm just not so sure how great of a deep ball thrower he is. You know, how accurate is he? How big is his arm to get it to Lockett? Because that's where he thrives most. Mm-hmm. And so to me, I think he'll feel comfortable with DK. And I think DK will be just fine. A little worried about Lockett. We'll have to see it first, but he's such a great player as well that I don't think it'll, you know, hinder him as much as you might seem.
I like the name Geno.
It's different, isn't it?
I only know 2 Genos.
Genocide?
No, like a name, Geno Atkins.
Oh yeah, that's another good one.
Geno. Just think about that. Let that marinate for a minute.
What about Geno?
Geno. I'll meet a Genoa.
Yeah, what if it's Genoa?
No, it's Geno.
Okay, that's fair.
All right.
Geno.
You want to take us to the next one?
Yeah, man. I'm. One thing. The biggest deal, obviously, is the Russell Wilson. I think he played 149 straight games without an injury. So, to me, the Seattle season's kind of in jeopardy. Looks like he'll be out 8 weeks. Tough loss, huge loss for Seattle. And Russell Wilson, at the end of the year, finds a new team and is no longer Seattle Seahawk.
Yes, I agree. This is his last hurrah.
Next up, we have the London game.
Whee!
You know, we're going over the pond, as Aaron likes to say.
The Peruvian bird skin.
We're going over to that Zach Wilson game, that gangrene.
Yo, Rosharon, dog.
We found Zach Wilson over there in London doing the dirty and the birdie. You know, down there in the, catacombs.
Wankers.
Yeah, they caught him down there doing, jankum.
Oh, again.
Zach Wilson out here, 19 and 30, 292 yards and a pick. Not great. Michael Carter had a nice little showing, though. 10 carries, 38 yards, and a touchdown. Ty Johnson also ran one in. Corey Davis led the team. 7 targets, 4 receptions, 45 yards. Keelan Cole, 2 catches, 38. Jamison Crowder, 6 targets, 4 catches, 24 yards. We saw a little bit of Denzel Mims, a guy I've been, touting on, saying that he should be more involved. He got a little work, 3 targets, 2 catches, 33 yards. What did you get out of this game and from the Jets side of the ball, and what do you expect from them?
What did I get out of this game in terms of the Jets? They have a long way to go.
Yeah.
Everyone was, getting back on the bandwagon after that one win. And me and you were, during the pregame show, they were all picking the Jets to win.
Yeah.
Me and you looked at each other and they said, these guys get paid to make these predictions? It's, I would have never picked the Jets in this game. First of all, they're young. They have a lot to work on. You can't expect them to string together 2 strong wins in a row, especially going to London. But I will say, I like their young guys. Zach Wilson has a great arm. He doesn't make the best decisions. Looks like he forces a little bit. But dang, that arm you can't teach, that arm talent. So if he can, give him time, don't berate him, don't, shame him. Michael Carter, it doesn't show up every week, but he had a big run. But Corey Davis is all right. They have a long way to go, man. I'm not expecting them to win 2 I wasn't expecting them to win 2 in a row, especially in London. So, they're a project, of course, and I think they should be treated as such.
Yeah, they're a terrible first quarter team. They come out real slow, can't score points, defense is getting lights. And, you said it. Just a roster full of non-talented players, a lot of young players, a lot more development going on, a few years out.
Yeah, I would compare it. Have you ever been in a wheelchair?
Yeah. I
would
prefer
compare their offense to someone that's, if you're in a wheelchair and you forget to pull up the brakes,
okay.
You're trying to roll, but you're maybe going a couple inches, and you're like, man, this thing's janky. And then finally you push the brakes up and your wheels are free and you can finally roll. It takes them a while to get those brakes off the wheel. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean, but those wheelchairs, man, those new ones, you lock it up, those wheels aren't moving, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can wheelie them up.
Yeah.
They're sturdy, man. They're doing a good job on them wheelchairs.
Yeah, shouts out to the wheelchair makers out there.
Yeah, you got that cardigan. Next up, we have the Atlanta Falcons.
Wait, Sark!
Before we get into the stats, what would you do if you were the GM of the Atlanta Falcons? What would you do with their future? How would you approach it? How do you fix the Falcons?
Oh, that's a loaded question. I think you focus on the defense. They need pass rush. They need secondary. Also, they need offensive line.
Yeah, they're horrendous.
I'm saying I would focus on the trenches for the most part. I think they have some good young corners, actually. They made some good, like Terrell, AJ Terrell. And I think they're good on weapons for a while in terms of, like, they have Kyle Pitts. Cordero Patterson's been amazing. Calvin Ridley,
What's one move you would be looking to do as the GM right now? Would you be looking to load off the older talent, or would you try to bring in older guys? Are you taking that, tanking, we're moving young? Are you still trying to compete? Because, Matt Ryan, you got some good core guys there. What would you do for the future of this team?
I am restarting.
Okay.
The Matt Ryan era is coming to an end. Let's restock. Let's retool. Tear it down, get to the bare minimum, and start in the trenches and build out. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. Speaking of Matt Ryan, he went 33 of 45, 342 yards, 2 touchdowns. Really solid game. He looked good. Cordero Patterson on the ground, 14 carries, 54 yards. Mike Davis, 13 carries, 53 yards, and a touchdown. He also lost a fumble.
Hey.
Leading receiver Kyle Pitts.
Yeah!
We knew this was coming. Don't act surprised. Don't act crazy. 10 targets, 9 catches, 119 yards, 1 touchdown. Cordero Patterson added 9 targets, 7 catches, 60 yards through the air. Tajay Sharp, back from the dead, filling in for Calvin Ridley, 5 targets, 4 receptions, 53 yards. And Hayden Hurst with a nice little game, 4 catches, 40 yards, and a touchdown.
Hayden Hurst fumbled the ball like 3 times in that game.
And he dropped like 2 passes.
Yeah,
too.
it was incredibly. He almost fumbled like going into the end zone. And the next possession, he fumbled and went out of bounds. And he had another fumble. Did he lose one?
Didn't lose one, no.
Oh, okay. Well, that was kind of crazy, but let's go to the bell of the ball right now, man.
Yeah.
The cream of the crop.
Yep.
Kyle Pitts, man.
Yes.
He looks stellar. His hands, man. If you haven't seen it yet, go watch his highlights. His hands are strong. He's nimble. He's agile. He had a one-handed catch. He's a humble superstar in the making. He was brutally honest in his interview after the game. He didn't think he was going to catch that touchdown pass, but he did because he has heart. But I think you can expect this going forward. Maybe not, every week, but these little outbursts. But shout out to Kyle Pitts, man. I love you.
Yeah, he wasn't generating a lot of buzz. He was kind of going under wraps. He hadn't had his breakout game.
Mm-hmm.
He's getting a lot of targets. Wasn't showing up in the box score. Wasn't showing up in big moments for them. But he took this. This was the game that he had to show up. He had to have this performance. Calvin Ridley's down. They're struggling to find players outside of Cordero Patterson, and he comes in. He steps up huge. Catching 9 of his 10 targets, putting up a monster day, and scoring a great touchdown. We knew this was going to come. Just the amount of targets that were coming, the pedigree, the talent, just everything about Kyle Pitts oozes a superstar, and we finally saw his first breakout game. Many, many more to come. You're probably too late to buy him in fantasy football, but I would still go buy high. This guy is a stud. He's not in the news. He's not in the notes because he's very humble, like Aaron said. He's a quiet guy. He just goes down and he wants to play the game. And it kind of reminds me of Julio Jones in that way. I hate comparing them two, but Julio's not about the drama, really. He was always, came in, did his thing.
He reminds me of Kawhi Leonard.
Or Kawhi, yeah.
I want to say something.
One.
I'm going to call this game the Royale with cheese.
Yeah.
Because he was in London. And he put a little cheese on it, man. I like that, man.
He did.
Because they call a Big Mac in London and England Royale with cheese. So I thought that was fitting for him because he ate that big.
Yeah, I wonder what you think they traveled around London and stuff?
I'm sure it was like a little vacation.
Yeah, I wonder how they treat the London games. Because it is technically like a vacation, to go overseas.
It's probably just a nice time to get away from American culture.
Right.
And venture out and learn.
Get them fish and chips, ride those little red buses around.
Yeah, and, do the dang thing.
Visit the
Buckingham Palace.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's probably really nice. I'm sure a lot of them hate it, though.
Yeah, they found Kyle Pitts and Queen Elizabeth's bad.
It came true?
Yeah.
Dang, I like it, man. That was a good prediction.
Yeah,
Was Queen Elizabeth in the bed?
I'm not sure. Reports did not come out that she was in or out.
Good man, Kyle. Keep it under wraps, brother.
But, he's a quiet one, so who knows.
What was the score?
27-20 Falcons, sorry.
All right, you got anything else on the game?
That's it for me, Gangrene.
Yeah, Gangrene. We're still here. All right, let's go on to the Patriots versus the Houston Texans in Houston. Wow. The final score was Patriots 25, Texans 22. And boy, did they fight, and boy, was there a lot of field goals. Let's go to the let's start out with the Texans, man.
Yeah, Texans.
Davis Mills, man. 21 of 29, 312 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Mark Ingram, 16 carries for 41 yards. Phillip Lindsay, 5 carries for 19. As far as receiving goes, Chris Moore, 5 targets, 5 receptions, 109 yards, a touchdown. It was a nice touchdown. He went up and got it and took it to the house.
Yeah, big one.
Chris Conley, first time we're really talking about him as a Texan.
Yeah.
4 targets, 3 catches, 84 yards, and a tut. It was a little flea flicker.
Yeah,
I liked it, man. Real creative.
Left
He acted
does.
like he was going to block, and he flinged out. He flared out like,
Yeah.
a firework.
Sure did.
David Johnson, 6 targets, 5 catches, 46 yards. Brandon Cooks, 5 targets, 3 catches, 23 yards.
Not bad, man.
Auclair scored a touchdown. But,
Nobody.
They put up a fight, man. They don't got much going for them, but Davis Mills looked good. They put up a fight as best they could. They did a lot better than I thought they were going to do against Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
It was a valiant effort.
There's only been two rookie quarterbacks that have thrown 3 touchdown passes against Bill Belichick since he took over as head coach as the Patriots. Can you name the 2 rookie quarterbacks that have thrown 3 touchdown passes on Belly?
Mark Sanchez?
No, that's a good guess, but it's
Geno
not.
Smith?
No.
I don't know.
Davis Mills and Russell Wilson.
Wow,
only 2, man.
Davis is in good company, man.
That's what I'm talking about. That boy, he played lights out. He really did. He played conservative. He played efficiently. 21 of 29, that's solid. 300 yards, 3 touchdowns,
No picks.
That's not a rookie stat line, man.
Especially not against the Patriots.
Right.
But I will say this. Maybe the Patriots, like I said on Friday, emotionally drained from the Tom Brady thing. They probably, that's a big deal. But no excuses. Any given Sunday, Texans came to play. Patriots pulled it out, though.
They did a good job on Cooks. Belichick does that thing where he'll eliminate your number one option. It was Cooks, but...
Who's their number one corner, J.C. Jackson?
Yeah.
He's good.
He's not bad. He's not bad.
He's good.
Who's the other one they got over there? Dang, I'm blanking, but I know who he is. Darn.
All right, well, we'll get into the Patriots right quick. Maybe we'll come back to you, buddy. Macaroni Jones, 23 of 30, 231 yards, a touchdown, and a pick.
Jonathan Jones was the corner.
Jonathan Jones?
Yeah.
Thank you. Never heard of him. Damian Harris, 14 carries, 48 yards, a touchdown, and a fumble lost, man. Seems like we're talking about that every game, and it was at the goal line. He fumbled into the end zone.
Aye.
It hurts, man, and you can't keep doing that on a Belichick team or you're going to be housed.
Great defensive play, though.
Yeah, it was. Punched it right on the nose.
Yep.
Hunter Henry, 8 targets, 6 catches, 71 yards, and a touchdown. Jacoby Myers, 5 targets, 4 catches, 56 yards. Nelly, 4 targets, 3 catches, 32 yards. What can I say, man? It wasn't flashy. It wasn't the prettiest, but they came out with the win, as we all thought they would. But it was a lot closer, and they definitely started sweating there at the end. But the better team won, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think so too. It's just hard to get a read on these Patriots, man. After putting up one of those fights against one of the better teams in the league, and then next week following up against one of the worst teams in the league, it's just hard to see where this team lands in terms of rankings or overall team. Because there'll be weeks where they look good. There'll be weeks where they play down to their opponents. Damian Harris fumbling the ball Just Mac Jones throwing picks, But I see Hunter Henry. He's kind of emerging as that tight end. We see they signed Jonnu Smith. They signed Hunter Henry, who's going to be the guy. The past 2 weeks, Hunter Henry's scored a touchdown. He's looked good. Do you expect Hunter Henry to emerge as this, tight end one, maybe the number one weapon in this passing offense?
I'm not willing to go that far yet. He has looked good the past couple of weeks. But like you said, this team's hard to kind of put your finger on.
Yeah.
It's weird. I think they kind of play down to teams they're playing and up to teams they're playing, as a young team would. But, there's a lot to learn from the Patriots going forward, to see what they're really about. But, Hunter Henry is definitely, he's looking like he could potentially be that go-to guy, which
Quite
is good
possibly.
to see. Yeah.
Keep him on your radar. Let's move on. Next up, we have the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings. One of them divisionals.
Man, this game, it keeps giving, man.
We got the Vikings 19, Lions 17.
Man, this game was absolutely absurd. It brought tears to Dan Campbell's eyes, man. It hurt me.
It hurts to see an emotional Dan Campbell,
Because that's like the manliest man. That's like seeing your dad cry for the first time, man. It really, it affects you. You know what I mean?
He almost seems like a dad, yeah, he cares so much. He wants his players to succeed. He wants to win games. And just to lose back-to-back games on a field goal last second, you're fighting the whole way. Your team's playing decent ball. 19 points to the Vikings, who have been on fire. Great performance from the Lions. You can't really be down. You can't say the Lions are so bad. They've been in some great fights this year against some really good teams, but they just can't get over that hump, They just can't get that stop, that final stop, But
And they made history.
They did?
They're the first team in NFL history, I think, to lose back-to-back, or lose 2 games with a 50-plus yard field goal with time expiring.
Oh, okay. Wow.
That seems pretty fitting for the Lions to have that record.
It's unfair.
It's unfortunate for sure.
Yeah, we'll see, man. They're 0-5 right now, but we'll stay on this game, Jared Goff, 21 of 35, 203 yards and a pick. Jamal Williams, 13 carries, 57 yards. DeAndre Swift, 11 carries, 51 yards and a touchdown. Amon-Ra St. Brown, emerging as the number one here in Detroit. 8 targets, 7 catches, 65 yards. DeAndre Swift, 6 targets, 6 catches, 53. Cephas looks like he might be out for the year, but 3 catches, 38 yards. And the no-show, T.J. Hawkinson, 2 catches, 22 yards.
Yeah, it's weird that Hawkinson's kind of been MIA for the last few weeks, man. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just because Jared Goff is, not a very good quarterback, or if he's not a part of the offense, that sounds kind of asinine coming out of my mouth because he's their best player, probably, other than DeAndre Swift. DeAndre Swift's a good player. He shows up every week, week in and week out. It's hard. It's hard to see these Lions go through this, man. It's almost like sometimes when it's like seeing a lion that's been mortally injured, and he's still trying to hold on for life, but it's probably better if you euthanize it and put it down to be, at peace. But obviously you can't do that with a football organization, so you have to watch them struggle and go through these pains.
It's just sad, though, because they've been so down and out for years. 20 years, dude.
It's been a long time.
Probably longer than that.
Since I've been alive, they've, 27 years.
They've always been dirty dump,
Dirty dump, but, Cowboy Dan's, I think he's got them on the right track.
I love Dan for some reason. Because he's a Campbell, obviously, but he's just a natural-born leader, natural-born hustler.
He's just a football guy, man.
Yeah.
That's a guy you just want to, shoot the breeze with,
Shoot,
in
I'd
the
kiss
backyard. Him. Yeah.
But yeah, you said DeAndre Swift. People think he's this little third down, scat back type of guy. But he has one of those runs where he popped Lace, one of those secondary players out there in Minnesota. He hit him hard. He let him know. And he's fast. He's strong. He's receiving ability. He's just a special player. He's their best player. And it's just nice to see him succeed, even though the team isn't where it needs to be.
Concur.
Over to Minnesota, we see Kirk Cousins, 25 of 34, 275 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. We see Alexander Madison stepping in for that Dalvin Cook, 25 carries, 113 yards. He got worked. Justin Jefferson, 8 targets, 7 catches, 124 yards per usual. Madison having 7 catches, 40 yards, and a touchdown. He also lost a fumble, but that's a lot of touches, man. Adam Thielen, 2 catches, 40 yards. Conklin, 2 catches, 25. Yeah, man, what are you getting out of this Minnesota team so far in this matchup and, moving forward?
It was an interesting game. It looked like Minnesota was moving the ball pretty well. I don't know if they got stagnant in the second half or... I know Madison's fumble was very, very costly because I think the Lions took the lead off that. How many seconds? I think the Minnesota Vikings had like 27 seconds to kick the game-winning field goal. Am I right?
Something like that, yeah.
Something shouldn't happen.
No.
In terms of like analytics or like the chance of winning. But the Vikings formula doesn't really change. Kirk, the running back, whoever's playing, it seems like they use them. Madison, Dalvin Cook, they use them the same a lot.
Yeah.
And then Justin Jefferson and, Adam Thielen and...
Whoever steps up. It's Jefferson and the guy who steps up. Whether it be Osborne, Conklin, Thielen,
I will say Madison has done a very, very good job.
He looks good, yeah. He's
looks
done a great job.
But yeah, it's just the Vikings, dude.
The Vikings, yeah, it's the same thing. They put up big yards numbers, 400 yards, 300 yards total almost every game. That's a given. But it's just something, like you said, they get stagnant. They're 7 penalties compared to the Lions 3. They had 2 turnovers. They were sacked 4 times. They just put up the yards, like they can move the ball, but then, there comes a time where I don't think they're a great third down team, like converting wise. I think Kirk Cousins been notorious of that. He'll hold the ball too long, or when there's pressure, he kind of falls down. He's not very known for like really extending the play. He's got to have a clean pocket, and sometimes that's a problem. Kirk's a good quarterback, but he's not great, and I think that's what limits him.
Yeah, it's just that, this is how the Vikings have been for a while, man.
It's just the Vikings, yeah.
But they should have won this game, and they won it. It's hard to see Dan Campbell cry, man.
Come on, Dan. We need the Lions to get one win, man. Get it out. Pull it out. Maybe this week against the Bengals. Wait and see.
Yeah, what you got? Any more?
That's it for me.
All right, man. Let's go to the dumpster divers.
Mandalay Bay.
Miami Dolphins versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Talk about a butt whooping. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers opened up a can of whoop butt on them boys down there, man. It was a big, big slap in the face, man. Disrespectful and love at the same time. The Buccaneers dropped 45 on their heads. The Dolphins came out clawing and scratching for a abysmal 17 points. Let's dive straight into this one, man. This one hurts to look at, honestly. For the Dolphins, Jacoby Brissett, 27 of 39, 275 yards, 2 touchdowns, a pick. Myles Gaskin, 5 carries, 25 yards. Receiving, Myles Gaskin, 10 targets, 10 receptions, 74 yards, 2 touchdowns. Patrick Williams, 5 targets, 3 catches, 60 yards. Mike Gesicki, 7 targets, 4 catches, 43 yards. Jalen Waddle, 6 targets, 2 catches, 31 yards. What is there to say, Luke? What is there to say about the Skid Row Dolphins, man?
Yeah, I've got two things I want to talk about. So Myles Gaskin getting this work, no one would expect it. Everyone's dropping Gaskin. Hasn't done much all year, and then they finally, get him involved, at least in the passing game. 10 catches, 74 yards, 2 scores, finding him a way to get him involved in the offense. He looked good, his little touchdown grabs, but what do they do with him moving forward? He's a guy who should be utilized this way. Jalen Waddle was a terrible pick. He's a good player. He's not a great player. I just looking back at it now, Penei Sewell was the pick. They traded up, from 9 or 12 up to number 6, and we were all thinking, oh, they're trading up for Penei Sewell. One of those crazy best tackle in the draft. Maybe they're trading up for a quarterback. Maybe it's Fields. Maybe it's Mac Jones. No, they take probably the third best receiver in the draft. And just you don't trade up. You don't trade up to the 6th spot to take a receiver. It's never gonna work. It's gonna fail every time. We've seen it all the time.
Julio.
The receiver you trade up for in this draft is Jamar Chase. He's off the board. No need to trade up. Waddle's probably there, at 9 or 12. Miserable pick. It's gonna bite him. It's gonna bite him in the long run. Take Penei Sewell. Take the safe pick, man. You don't need Waddle.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. I think we thought that when we were doing like our mock drafts and stuff. When is Tua coming back? Soon?
He's eligible this week. Not sure if he's ready.
Ain't much gonna change though, man.
Hey, come on.
You can't teach an old dog new tricks.
I think they're better with Tua though. As much as Skid Row Dolphins are Skid Rowing, Tua's better than Jacoby Brissett, and I'll say that with my chest.
I like that. Let's go to some stats actually. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tom Brady, 30 of 41, 411 yards, 5 touchdown passes.
Dang, man.
Leonard Fournette, 12 carries, 67 yards, and a touchdown. Ronald Jones got in there, 5 carries, 21 yards. Gio got in there, 4 carries, 21 yards. Antonio Brown, 8 targets, 7 catches, 124 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Mike Evans, 8 targets, 6 catches, 113 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Chris Godwin, 11 targets, 7 catches, 70 yards. Leonard Fournette got in there, 5 targets, 4 catches, 43 yards. And Gio got a little touchdown catch. Yeah, they ran it up. They spread the wealth.
I don't know what's more incredible, Tom Brady playing at such a high level of the age of 44 years, or the fact that this is his first time in 22 years that he's thrown for 405 touchdowns. First game of his career. He's done it, 44 years old. This man isn't human. But what do you think is more incredible, the fact that he's doing it at such a high level at 44, or the fact that this was his first 400-yard, 5-touchdown game?
Oh, 100% that he's doing it at his age.
Incredible.
Because I don't know a lot of quarterbacks that have thrown for 400 plus and 5 touchdowns. Like, I can't really think of any. But the fact that he did it at 44 is really, really starting to make me want to investigate Tom Brady. Okay. I want to know what planet, what galaxy, what kind of things he's doing. I don't think he eats food. I think he's doing photosynthesis. There's something going on, and it's very, very strange, but I'm happy to be here for it, honestly. I don't know. He's going to have records that no one's even going to get close to, just shatter records, and there'll be one of those records that no one wants to break.
I say we investigate his emails like John Gruden, so we can find out everything that he's into, his eating habits, his living habits, his friends, the scent of his candles in his home. You know what I mean? We got to find out everything about Tom Brady. Why is he doing this? How is he doing this? And what can we do about it?
You know what's sad is his emails are probably very polite and very well written.
I know, it's a
great
shame.
Great grammar, spell check, probably sincerely Tom. Yeah. Probably to whom it may concern. Like, all written just very well and just very, very just perfect
Kind-hearted.
format. Yeah, like
Kind-hearted, yeah.
he might be squeaky clean, but we could also get on there and see he's into some things, man, like dark arts and whatnot.
Yeah, maybe him and John have been sending emails back.
I'd like to read those.
That's the only way we'll stop Tom, man. We'll just find something dirty about him. He's been taking steroids or something, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what it is, but, shouts out to Tommy boy
Nuts.
for still doing it. But, yeah, there's not much to really learn from this game.
You can't take much out of this game, you know?
It was just a drumming.
Yeah.
And the Dolphins without Tua, we're not learning anything. It's a backup.
It's the Skid Row Dolphins.
It was cool to see Gaskin get in the... But
Shout out Gaskin.
And I understand why they had to, give up on the running game because they were getting their teeth kicked in and curb stomped at the same time on Skid Row.
Skid Row Dolphins gonna Skid Row, you know?
Yep.
Next up, we've got the Denver Broncos and the Pittsburgh Steelers out there in Heinz Field. Get your catch up. Pittsburgh 27, Denver 19. We'll get into the Denver side of the game. Teddy Bridgewater back, brain intact. 24 of 38, 288 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Javonte with another mean run. 8 carries, 61 yards. Melvin Gordon taking a backseat, 9 carries, 34 yards. Cortland Sutton.
Mm-hmm.
He's looking nice out there, man. 11 targets, 7 catches, 120 yards, 1 touchdown, almost 2. Tim Patrick, 9 targets, 7 catches, 89. Mr. Reliable. Javonte Williams added 3 catches, 25 in the air. Kendall Hinton, former quarterback for 1 game. 3 targets, 2 catches, 25 yards, and a score. Noah Fant, 4 targets, 3 catches, 20 yards. What are your thoughts on this Denver Bronco team in this game here against Pittsburgh?
For the Broncos, my fear came back, creeped back into my head about how they struggle. Their offense is, struggling like last year. But I will say, towards the end of the game, we started to move the ball again. And we had a chance to tie the game. But Teddy threw a pick in the end zone. I don't think it's as bad as it was a year ago. I still have hope, but it stinks being a fan and having such high hopes and starting so strong and then reverting back to what we were. But then we saw glimpses of it come back at the end of that Pittsburgh game.
I've got a question.
Yes.
So you saying about having glimpses, which I see it too of last year. People would tell that, that's a Drew Lock issue. We need a new quarterback. They brought in Teddy Bridgewater, who's looked fine. But why is it, feeling like last year, a team that couldn't move the ball, they couldn't really score touchdowns. They were resorting to McManus field goals a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So is it a quarterback issue still with Bridgewater? Or is it just the offense of coordinator isn't very good? The offensive line isn't good? Like, what would make them resort to last year's offense?
I think it has to do with the play call. Sometimes
Okay.
they get too cute. They get too conservative. And I don't like that. I think the Broncos are a team that is definitely capable of the big play, with all the weapons they have. But I think they play conservative. And they play for first, just getting that 10 yards, I think, a lot. And it hampers the offensive flow to me.
Well, I've noticed that ever since Judy and Hamler went down, their offense has kind of stalled a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that's a big factor, them being so conservative and not pushing the ball down the field? I mean, we saw it a few plays with Sutton. It wasn't until the second half where they started to loosen out a little bit.
Yeah.
And he had some big plays. But do you think Judy and Hamler kind of changed the whole aspect of their offense and just trying to funnel, quick and easy, completions?
Not necessarily. I mean, it does affect them in a way. But I like how you mentioned how they got loosey-goosey in the second half.
Yeah.
That's how they should play call throughout the game. Don't start like you're scared to turn the ball over. You're scared to make mistakes. Let them go. Let them loose, man. You got Cortland Sutton, man. Noah Fant needs to be used. He needs to stop doing those 10-yard outs, ends. Like, get him up the seam, dude.
Yeah.
He's a freak.
Yeah,
He's fast. They're not. To me, sometimes I think they're not using their weapons as they should.
I agree with that.
They're playmakers. Let them go make plays.
Like, you see, Sutton had a great game. Like,
Yeah.
at the end of the game.
At the end of the game.
But he only had, I think, 2 catches at halftime. And then they let him loose. Like, Sutton should be your number one. He should be hot from the start. He should be a guy that's getting 3-4 targets the first quarter, first drive. I
agree.
Like, why isn't that a thing? And Noah Fant is your number 2. I don't care what Tim Patrick's been doing. I don't care what Kendall Hinton's doing. Noah Fant is your second best weapon right now. He's getting 4 targets in a must-win game, a come-from-behind win, or a come-from-behind game, and he doesn't play a role. And that's a big deal to me, and that's a big reason why their offense has been kind of sputtering as of late.
Yeah, they just need to let them make plays, dude.
Yeah.
Believe in your players. It seems like they don't have a lot of trust.
I agree.
So, I mean, that's it, man. I still have hopes for the Broncos.
Yeah, Broncos. Next up, we have the Steelers. The score to this game was 27-19 Pittsburgh. Big Ben, 15-25, 253 yards, 2 touchdowns. Najee Harris, great game on the ground, 23 carries, 120 yards, 1 touchdown. Chase Claypool showed out, breakout game of the year for him. 6 targets, 5 catches, 130 yards, 1 touchdown. Deontay Johnson, only 2 targets, 2 catches, but had a healthy 50-yard touchdown. Najee Harris, 5 targets, 2 catches, 20 yards. Yeah, I mean, not a lot of throwing in this game. I know Juju's down. He's out for the year, apparently. That's a big loss for them. Stinks for Juju. But, like I said in past podcasts, I don't really feel bad for him. What do you think about this? What did you get out of this? I know Najee looked great.
I want to say the spotlight's on Najee for me. We haven't seen them really attack on the ground with Najee. They made that a big deal this game, which is cool.
Finally, that balanced offense attack that we haven't seen recently.
Right, and I think they're realizing that like Najee is a weapon no matter what, but he's also a huge weapon on the ground. I mean, he had 5 targets still, but 2 catches, 20 yards. But man, he ate on the ground against a pretty good defense.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Najee is a do-it-all kind of guy.
He is.
This team's going to go as he goes. You know what I mean? Because Big Ben's not able to, carry that weight on his shoulders anymore. I mean, he did a fine job, took care of the ball.
I like how Ben only had 25 attempts.
I think that...
Yeah, that was the reason they won, I think.
Yeah. They have that bell cow and Najee.
Yeah.
So use them, and then don't put as much pressure on Big Ben. And I think they'll be a fine team because they have a good defense to hold teams.
Yeah, stay balanced, man.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a good sign for the Steelers.
Yeah, and they have the Seahawks next week, without Russell Wilson, Sunday night. Another game, maybe they can get 2 wins under their belt, try to get some momentum, after a rough early season and make a AFC North race, down the line.
We'll see.
You got to feed Najee, though, man.
Feed him.
But Claypool and Johnson, kind of trending up with Juju out.
Yeah, I like Claypool more than Johnson.
I don't know if I like him more, but I know what you're... Like, I agree with you, though.
But definitely, both their stocks went up. I think
Chase Claypool's a future alpha, number 1 receiver.
Definitely. He's just got the size, the strength, the speed.
I mean, he's shown it. I mean, he had 12 touchdowns last year.
Yeah, a lot.
He's obviously great in the red zone. He can be a number 1. He just really has an opportunity. But now with Juju down, he has that opportunity to merge as that number 1 alpha.
Yeah, I think this is what they kind of needed.
I think this is what they
want. As bad as it sounds for Juju, but Claypool's got to be that. He's gonna be that guy.
Yeah, I agree.
But Deontay Johnson's a very good wide receiver as well, so they got a good 1-2 punch.
He'll be
And they're different. Like Claypool's the big guy, Deontay's the little guy.
yeah. I mean,
they're both
Deontay's still gonna get
playmakers.
his target. He's like the AB, and Claypool's like the. I don't know. I think he's gonna be like the possession guy. I think he's the guy they're gonna rely on intermediately deep
Who?
down the field. Claypool.
Hmm.
Like he's obviously a big play guy, but I feel like he's gonna emerge as that like number one, like intermediate slants,
They do it all, guy.
screens. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Let's move on, man.
All right, let us go. Let's go to the Tennessee Titans versus the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Wow.
Tennessee Titans won 37-19. As far as Tennessee goes, Ryan Tannehill 14 completions on 22 attempts, 197 yards, a touchdown. Derrick Henry 29 carries, 130 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
Sheesh.
Marcus Johnson,
Yep.
3 catches, 52 yards. A.J. Brown, 6 targets, 3 catches, 38 yards. Pruitt, the tight end, got a catch, touchdown. I mean, there's not. It's the same dang thing every week, man. There's a recipe, and it seems to work. So, Derrick Henry got his 29 touches, 3 scores, 130 yards. Tannehill's doing Tannehill things. Yeah. They beat a team they should probably beat, a division game.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, Tennessee should easily win this game. But seeing 37 points, it sounds like a lot. But then, like, you kind of look at it and it's like, I don't know. It's just like a 37. When you look at 37, you see, like, there's a lot of points scored. You just look at it. It's like Tannehill, 197, a touchdown. I mean, obviously, Derrick Henry scoring 3, but just an unexciting box score. You would think, it'd be a lot more exciting with a lot of points, but it's just not. It's an unexciting team. It's a boring team, but yet they continue to, win games, and Derrick Henry continues to just, crown himself as, big body best,
What if the Titans got Cam Newton?
I don't think Cam Newton's any good.
He's better. He's probably the same as Tannehill.
I don't think so. Tannehill is at least like, he's not very good, but he can do, like, get by. Like, sometimes I feel like Cam Newton can't even get by, like sometimes, like a play that should be made, a throw that should be made, it just doesn't work out. Like, you can look at Cam Newton's stat line, like, yeah, he'll add like 60 yards rushing, maybe run one in, but he'll throw like 9 for, 16, you know what I mean? But, I mean, I like what you're saying. Like, Cam and Derrick Henry would be kind of cool.
And A.J. Brown and Julio.
Yeah, a lot of big bodies.
Yeah, that'd be like a cool-looking team.
It would be cool, but I think, like, realistically, like, Tannehill's going to be there.
Tannehill stinks.
Hey, they keep winning, though.
They keep winning?
Yeah, like in the past years.
They lost to the Jets.
They did lose to the Jets. Trap game. But, like, even, like, the last 2 years, I think they won the division and stuff. So
I think they're worse this year.
So do I. I think they're not very good.
Well, let's go to the Jaguars, man. Suburban Meyer, man, after getting a little litty on a Thursday night, man. Trevor Lawrence, 23-33, 273 yards, a touchdown, and interception. James Robinson, man, continues to cook it up in there, man. 18 carries, 149, and a touchdown. Trevor Lawrence, 7 carries, 28 yards, and a touchdown. Dan Arnold, 8 targets, 6 receptions, 64 yards. Laviska, 3 targets, 1 catch, 58 yards. Tavon Austin, man, 5 targets, 5 receptions, 54 yards. The surprise of the evening, Marvin Jones, 5 targets, 1 catch, 25 yards. And the little Hollister guy got into the end zone.
Jacksonville is the 3rd team in NFL history to lose 20 straight games. Crazy, huh?
Yeah, man. I mean, they stink.
Urban Meyer should be fired. I know, like, firing in season isn't normally like a thing in the NFL, but it's better to do it sooner rather than later. He's gonna be fired in the off season. He's gonna be fired at some point. Sooner the better. You get away from the distraction, the drama. You can take your time, bringing in one of those offensive coordinators, Joe Brady, someone who would be exciting for, Jacksonville, Trevor Lawrence, James Robinson, Laviska, guys who, like, people thought, Urban would be exciting, but in reality, he's just not. You need Eric Bieniemy, you need Joe Brady, someone in there who's fun, knows what they're doing. But
Jacksonville needs to put lipstick on the pig.
okay.
Meaning that this is looks like a bad situation, but they got to make it look better, man. Spruce it up a little bit.
So you put lipstick on a pig, I'll probably kiss it.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it.
With my feet.
You got to slap that hog. Roll it over twice.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
So James Robinson's a stud. We saw
Yeah.
it last year. That dude is a DAWG dogging. But the big thing I got out of this was Dan Arnold and Jamal Agnew combined for 16 targets. Marvin Jones and Laviska Shenault combined for 8 targets. Why? What is this?
Luke, let me be honest with you. I don't know. I thought this was an eat game for Marvin, eat game for Laviska.
Absolutely it is.
But this is what happens with bad teams.
Facts.
Like, you can't... You have to expect the unexpected with a stink team with Urban Meyer. It was disappointing, but...
It's disappointing.
What's new, man?
The only guy you can trust is Robinson. Even on a bad team, he's just a good player.
Yeah,
Receivers are so volatile in a bad offense. Like, you never know. You know?
It could be Tavon Austin, dude.
Yeah, it could be Greg Jennings.
Yeah, if he was around, but...
It's like bowling with sausage sticks instead of bowling pins.
Yeah, I agree 100%. James Robinson's a good player, man.
Yeah,
shout out to him.
J-Rob, yes. Next up, we've got them Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles. Against the Carolina Panthers. Philly 21, Carolina 18. Yeah, we're bringing that gangsta. First up, we got the Eagles. Jalen Hurts. Not a great throwing performance. 22 of 37, 198 yards and a pick. But he added 9 carries, 30 yards, and 2 crucial touchdowns. Miles Sanders, 11 carries, 45 yards. Devontae Smith, 8 targets, 7 catches, 77 yards. Quez Watkins, 3 catches, 48 yards. Dallas Goedert got a little banged up, dropped an easy, surefire touchdown. 3 targets, 2 catches, 28 yards. Jalen Reagor kind of being, the redheaded stepchild in this one. Past few weeks, actually. 5 targets, 3 catches, 24 yards. Thank you, Jalen Hurts.
Thank you, Jalen Hurts. Yeah, it's still... Jalen Hurts is an interesting player to me. In terms of fantasy, I think you're safe with him, but I'm talking about real football right now, man.
Yeah.
He seems to be a roller coaster type guy.
Okay.
I guess it just depends on the day for him.
You know what's kind of funny? You brought up Cam Newton earlier.
Yeah.
I kind of feel this way about Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, I can see that. Because he'll get those rushing touchdowns, the goal line and stuff.
And, like, he's great for fantasy, but in real life, I mean, Cam Newton in his prime, at his peak in Carolina, he was solid. Like, they won a lot of games, but to me, that's like Jalen Hurts' peak, is like Cam Newton. You know what I mean? Like, he's never going to be the best thrower. He's going to be inconsistent, but he's going to add you whatever your team needs to do on the ground and stuff,
Yeah, I think that the Eagles shouldn't have won this game.
Hey, come on.
But like I'm proud of them for pulling it out. Their bright spot was it looked like Devontae Smith, man. He had a good game. 8 targets, led the team. 7 receptions, led the team. 77 yards, led the team. That chemistry's still going. It's still up and down, but Miles Sanders, he stunk the whole game into the fourth quarter. Like the last drive, I think he busted a 18-yard run. He had 5 receptions for 6 yards though. That's promising.
I'll tell you what, I feel like the Eagles did deserve this win. Their defense was huge. Darius Slay had 2 picks. Steve Nelson had a pick in the final drive. I think they had 4 or 5 sacks as a team. Like, their defense stepped up big. Carolina couldn't do anything. Like, we'll get to their stats soon, but they couldn't. I mean, Chuba Hubbard had a solid game, but they could not move the ball. They couldn't score. And shout out the Eagles defense for stepping up after getting kind of beat up the last 2 weeks. The defense won in this game.
Hey, don't kiss the messenger, man.
Darius Slay is the number 1 ranked cornerback in the NFL right now, so hate on that, boys.
Nah, I wasn't hating. It just was a weird game to me.
No. I'm just saying, for those that hate on him.
But, yeah, Eagles won. Congrats. Have we talked? Oh, Panthers.
Sure.
Is this my game?
No, it's my game. Carolina, Sam Darnold. 21 of 37, 177 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 picks. Chuba Hubbard, 24 carries, 101 yards. DJ Moore, 7 targets, 5 catches, 42 yards. Ian Thomas, out of nowhere, RKO, 5 targets, 4 catches, 40 yards. Chuba Hubbard, 6 targets, 5 catches, 33 yards. Robbie Anderson, 7 targets, 2 catches, 30. And then Tommy Trimble caught a little touchdown.
Did you say the score?
21-18 Philadelphia.
See, Panthers are coming back to earth real hard.
Wow.
I wasn't sold that they're gonna be a contender or whatever. And this is the reason. Darnold can have games like this. When he's seeing ghosts. I think he's a paranormal investigator, and sometimes he has those games when he's really seeing ghosts of his
Christmas past.
Yeah, but it's players that have played for the Eagles in the past, like Brian Dawkins. He was seeing his ghost back there. Imagine seeing Brian Dawkins' ghost. Lito Shepherd, Nnamdi Asomugha. He was seeing all those guys. They weren't really out there.
Reggie White.
But he was seeing those ghosts, and I think he needs to go to a doctor and get prescribed. He might have hallucinations, but that's what I'm worried about. Other than that, he's, he just had a bad game. Chuba did well. Looks like that'll be his last little stint there for McCaffrey when he gets back in there.
Does that change your mind on the Panthers with McCaffrey, though?
Yes.
So it does. It's more of a contender with him?
McCaffrey makes life easier for
True.
Darnold.
Morgan Freeman.
I'm finally pulling the plug, man. On
Don't
Robbie
do it.
Anderson, man.
Don't do it, dude.
He's done. He's dead to me.
Don't do it, Nate.
He had 7 targets. He had one of the top shares of targets, but still.
This was a smash mouth for Robbie, and he ate it.
Yeah, I'm tired of getting my buns buttered by Robbie.
He needs to start eating more lasagna.
Yeah, he needs to start catching the ball and being open.
Mm-hmm.
I'm tired of being honey bunned, man. I'm tired of it, man. I'm tired of being two-timed. I'm tired of being told one thing and seeing another. I'm tired of this deception. All right? So, Robbie, good luck to you in your next endeavors. But you're no longer on my team. Who knows? We could get back together later this year if you start showing that you actually care about me. You actually care about this relationship and you actually want to be here for me. But other than that, man, sayonara, peace, love, and happiness to you, Brother Bear.
Yeah, we've been getting robbed Anderson instead of Robbie Anderson.
Yeah, it's Rob Anderson, man.
He's getting robbed, man.
But, yeah, good win for the Eagles. I ain't even going to lie.
Go Birds.
That was a good win.
Will you give me a bird?
Groot.
Groot.
No, I got a good one.
What is that, a seagull?
Until trying to do a pigeon noise.
You trying to do one of them platypus? Wow.
Is that a bird?
I don't know, man. That sounded like a... Okay.
Thank you.
Let's move on to the next game.
Is it me?
Yes, sir. It is one did.
Oh, we got a New Orleans Saints versus the Washington football team.
Get excited, baby.
The Saints 33, Washington football team 22. For the Saints, Jameis Winston 15 of 30, 279, 4 touchdowns, 1 pick. Alvin Kamara 16 carries, 71 yards and a touchdown. Marquise Callaway 8 targets, 4 catches, 85 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Yes.
Dwayne Harris 1 target, 1 catch, 72 yards, a touchdown. Alvin Kamara 8 targets, 5 catches, 51 yards and a touchdown. Yeah. Yes.
Washington's defense stinks.
Yeah, that's for sure. I think we can all agree upon that. They were fraudulent. They were cashing checks with nothing in their bank account and getting away with it. But now we are onto them. Red-handed. Stink.
Jail time.
Jail time.
Frauds. Tax evasion.
Yes. No taxation without representation.
Yeah, I'm Abraham Lincoln, top hat and all.
Good man.
Yeah, we saw Jameis. I don't care about him. Alvin Kamara, 16 carries, 71 yards. But I like that 8 targets. Just getting him involved finally.
Promising. I think Tyson Hill got hurt or something.
Good. He hurt his head, yeah. Bad. He got crunched.
Yeah, he got hit hard.
Directly into his head. And
Directly into his temple.
hey, guess what, man? Football is a football game.
Yeah.
No way around it. But not much for the Saints. I hate talking about them.
Oh, yeah. We can move on then. One thing on the Saints. It's not very fun to talk about them. Thank you. Washington football team. Heineke, high knees, Heineke. He's back to his old ways, man.
Hey, come on, man.
20 of 41, 248 yards, 2 picks. Antonio Gibson, 20 carries, 60 yards, 2 touchdowns. That guy finds the end zone, man, but he ain't very efficient.
No.
Heineke, 5 carries, 40 yards, man. Receiving, Adam Humphries, 5 targets, 3 catches, 73 yards. D. Carter, 8 targets, 4 catches, 62 yards. Scary Terry, 11 targets, 4 catches, 46 yards. Rookie Seals Jones, 8 targets, 5 catches, 41 yards.
I'm going to say this. For those people that like to get one step ahead on a player, Jarrett Patterson is your guy. J.D. McKissick stinks. I don't think he's a very good player. Yeah, he scored a lot of touchdowns this year. He ain't very good. Antonio Gibson hasn't been very good. He's been battling a broken shin or something like that, and he's been playing through it. If he misses games, Jarrett Patterson is going to be the lead dog, and he's a good player. He was the guy who had the crazy Buffalo game last year, like 400 rushing yards. He's a good player, and he might get a week or two where he's in there getting Antonio Gibson's workload. If you want to be one step ahead, he's a guy. Taylor Heineke's still that guy.
No,
he's that guy.
He stinks.
He played the Saints defense. It's a good defense. I've been saying this. They're a good defense. I give them that, even though they're a boring team. Heineke's good. He struggled, but they weren't awful offensively. Him and McLaurin weren't really connecting as much as they should be. But that's really about it, man.
They're awfully bad.
Who?
Football team.
Come on, man.
Heineke is not a starting quarterback.
Their defense is bad. Their defense is not helping. If their defense was as good as they were supposed to be, you think Heineke's going to be this bad? No. He's going to be able to play conservative offense. He's going to be able to play his game, no pressure. They were down early in this game, man. The Saints scored 33 points. efficient offense. You know how hard that is to come back and play efficient football? It's not easy.
Hey, thanks for sticking up for high knees, man. Someone needs to do it because I ain't going to do it.
I'm doing it.
I'm not going to bat for high knees no more, man.
I appreciate him.
I don't think he's a good quarterback, starting quarterback caliber. He might be a good backup, but
No, he's starting my first
I'd
game
rather
of the,
have Rex Grossman.
He's starting the first game of my World Series.
I'd rather have Gus Frerotte.
Yeah, well, you can go play in your little NASCAR driver and play that game over
I
there.
like to turn left.
Yeah, I'm going to let you go play duck.
Hey, is Ricky clear?
I'm going to go let you play duck hunt over there, man, but we're playing football over here.
I do love duck hunting, man.
Taylor Heineke is that dude, and I'm going to ride with him and die with him.
If that dog laughs at me one more time.
Hey, but they play the Chiefs on Sunday. Chiefs are scoring 100 points.
I'm going to take the under.
Washington's defense is the worst in the NFL.
Yes, I know.
Okay.
But not 100
No,
points
that
back.
was an exaggeration, but that'd be ugly.
Yeah.
What do we got on there on the next plate?
You got it, man.
We got them Green Bay Packers. Ooh,
This was a good one.
this is one of them kicking matches, you know.
This is one of those kicking dirt rocks.
We got one of them Green Bay Packers 25, Cincinnati Bengals 22 in overtime.
Great game.
Did you enjoy that?
I was on the edge of my lazy boy.
Okay.
I was teeter-tottering the whole time, man.
Did it put you on your toes or were you on your heels?
I was on my toes.
Okay, it was one of them.
Twinkle toe.
So first up we got Aaron Rodgers on the Green Bay Packs. 27 of 39, 344 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Aaron Jones 14 carries, 103 yards. AJ Dillon 8 carries, 30 yards. Oh my goodness. Devontae Adams. Is that his career high in receiving yards?
I don't think so.
Probably not. 16 targets, 11 catches, 206 receiving yards, 1 touchdown. A.J. Dillon, 4 catches, 49 yards, and a touchdown. Randall Cobb, 2 catches, 30 yards. Aaron Jones, 4 catches, 6 yards. What are your thoughts on the Green Bay Packers? Or what are your thoughts on Mason Crosby?
Yeah. 4 for 7 on field goals, huh?
Golly.
I'm just, like there was so many, it was such a weird game because Aaron Jones, start of overtime. Was it the overtime? He had that big run, or was it right before overtime when Aaron Jones had the 50-yard run? I think it was to end the game, right?
Yeah, it was in the fourth quarter.
So Mason missed one at the end of regulation, another one in overtime, and they trusted him to kick a 49-yarder. That's real, man. Real recognized real. He's got some stones for that. Still being ready to go out there, not completely emotionally just like, I don't know, man. I can't imagine. But that just shows that Mason Crosby's a real one. He's not scared. I think that was his longest field goal of the 2 he missed before. And he went out there, man, stone cold stunned it into the back of the field goal kicking net. Won the game, man. That was real good. Aaron Rodgers started real slow, but then he found that boy, that one guy. Devontae Adams, man. He was open all the time, early and often, catching that ball. And whenever he gets locked in on Devontae, it's going to be a long, long day, man. It's going to be a long day. As you can see, over 200 yards. Not much else going on other than that, but...
Yeah, this game was the reason that this was the worst kicking week in NFL history. When at first you don't succeed, try again. Mason Crosby had his, try again, and he knocked it in. Kicker for 15 years of the Packers. But this was historically the first week since 2015 when they moved back the extra point. That double-digit missed field goals and double-digit missed extra points. That was kind of an unheard of week for the kickers. A few of them hopefully will not lose their jobs, but probably deserve so.
Was the El Nino rapidly moving?
Quite possibly. I think it was cold east, warm north.
Was it going east the way the bird flies?
Yeah, it was. It was shifty and swifty.
I think the earth was moving faster Sunday.
That could be definitely a reasoning.
I think it was the Mercury retrograde up there.
Something like that, man. There must have been like a blindfolded bat narcissist.
That's very plausible.
But yeah, man, this game really just comes down to the kicking. I mean, it's probably not an overtime game if they're making kicks. So, but we can move on to the Joe Burrows of Cincinnati. 26 of 38, 281 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. Samaje Perine, 11 carries, 59 yards. Joe Mixon, 10 carries, 33, and a touchdown. Jamar Chase, big week, 10 targets, 6 catches, 159 yards, and a touchdown. T. Higgins, 7 targets, 5 catches, 32. Samaje added 4 catches, 24 yards, and a touchdown. And Tyler Boyd, 4 catches, 24 yards. You have any thoughts, concerns about this Bengals game?
I think the Bengals are a pretty good team. I think they have the potential to, make the playoffs. Joe Burrow's a good quarterback. Needs to learn how to slide. That was a little scary there.
Yeah.
He got crunched like a little Pringle can.
Was in the hospital with his throat injury.
The contusion?
Yeah.
Jamar Chase is looking like that guy, man. He's looking like he's doing the giddy on the giddy up.
Jamar Chase is that guy.
Yeah, he's that guy, man. He puts his pants on one leg at a time.
Let's start calling him Jamar Chase the Bag.
Oh, nice. I'm going to call him Lamar Chase Bank.
Yeah, to take your
money reference, man, because you're going to make a lot of money here in a few years.
To give you the money and to pay interest.
Yes. Interest rates. But, they put up a heck of a fight. The kicker celebrated too soon. I never seen that before in my entire life, which is really cool. He thought he made it, and he was jumping around like the kickers do, but he missed, man. He missed left.
And I still believe in him. I like Evan McPherson.
Evan McPherson's a good kid, but his dad was a great person.
I'm just saying, man, sometimes you can't make everything, You can't be 100%. Sometimes it's a slow start,
I really study kicking now, and it looks so dang hard.
Who's the best kicker you've studied?
The best one I've ever studied?
Yeah, just by watching. And
the best kicker I ever watched a lot of was Jason Elam.
Oh, yeah?
Very reliable. I think he's got to be one of the best of all time.
Yeah.
I don't watch Justin Tucker enough.
He's solid.
I think Fairbairn last year was very good kicker.
Okay.
Very,
he's
very.
Bonds now.
You ever seen him?
Yeah, it's like you're expecting salt in the shaker and there's pepper.
Yeah, bring back Joey Sly.
Yeah, I like Joe Sly. He's got a big one.
Yeah, he does have a big one.
Big leg, yeah.
Is it my turns?
Yeah, we're good on that.
All right. The Chicago Bears 20, Las Vegas Raiders 9. For the Bears, Justin Fields 12 of 20, 111 yards and a touchdown. Dalton got in there. 1 for 1, 8 yards. Khalil Herbert 18 carries, 75 yards. Damian Williams, welcome back, bud. 16 carries, 64 yards and a touchdown. Darnell Mooney, 5 targets, 3 catches, 35 yards. Allen Robinson, 5 targets, 4 catches, 32 yards. Horsted got a touchdown. Bears. The Bears, man.
Khalil Mack's return.
Monster.
8 tackles and a sack against the former. And then he kicked John Gruden down and out. When it was down, he kicked him out. Khalil Herbert getting 18 carries, leading the team in rushing yards. Kind of a surprise.
I like Khalil Herbert.
So do I. I think he's a good player. Very, overlooked.
He makes me feel like I am home again.
Really?
I actually really like him. I don't know his story,
okay. But UCLA.
Oh, but Damian Williams looked real good.
Yeah, he had a 14-yard run. an 18-yard catch. He's that's doing what he does.
Yeah, he's precious cargo.
Sure.
He's better than David Montgomery.
No, no, no.
Yeah, I said it.
No.
Yo, I got 10 toes down. Who's going to push me over now?
I'm pushing you over.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I'm gonna let you hit the ground with your ears.
Yeah, it's not going to hurt.
Yeah, I'll put pillows down, but I'll still push you.
I'm 10 toes down, man.
There ain't no way.
Damian Williams, greater than David Montgomery.
Why is there a committee now then?
Because they want to see what Khalil's got, and obviously he got something.
Why didn't they do that with Montgomery then?
Because they thought he was a bell cow.
He is a bell cow.
But obviously it wasn't working out. They weren't winning games with him.
Yeah, they did.
Hey, we got a man down.
I watched them win games with Montgomery. He's better.
We got a man down, but there's no hand down, boys.
So you're telling me you put those two guys in a vacuum, you're taking Damian Williams.
I'm saying if I want to win a football game, I'm going with Damian Williams.
Adios mío. I don't even like Montgomery, but I'm taking him over Damian Williams.
Well, let's go back to their primes.
This is Damian Williams' prime, isn't it?
Is
Was
he
he
old?
28?
Something like that.
Yeah. He had a nice little run, a little playoff run he had. He looked good. He deserved MVP.
Playoff Damian, Super Bowl Damian, never forget it.
I never will. But Montgomery is one of the guys.
I just think he's a better overall back.
I'm not sure.
David Montgomery is frustrating.
Why? He was great. He was solid last year. He's solid this year.
He's solid.
Yeah, he's solid.
So is Damian Williams.
I don't know. I like what I saw of Khalil Herbert. That's all I got.
We can let bygones be bygones, man.
Yeah, we'll just let water under the stream.
Let's go to the Raiders, man. We'll be real sensitive on this topic because I know you guys are going through a rough time in the black hole. So we'll get through this and we'll make sure we're real nice and real calm and collected.
Sure.
David Carr, 22 of 35, 206 yards and a pick. Josh Jacobs, 15 carries, 48 yards and a touchdown. Yeah, there's not much going on there. Hunter Renfrow, 8 targets, 6 catches, 56 yards. Henry Ruggs, 3 targets, 3 catches, 51 yards. Darren Walrus, 8 targets, 4 receptions, 45 yards. Brian Edwards, 5 targets, 2 catches, 22 yards. The Raiders just struggled, man. They struggled mightily. I think teams that were undefeated are now going through a real rough patch if they're not a real one. You know what I mean? The Broncos, the Raiders, the Panthers. They're really starting to come back to earth.
It seems like we see this out of the Raiders every year, though. We think they're good, they're 5-2, they're 3-0, and then they just finish the season 2-7 or 3-9 or whatever. They start hot and they fall flat, But honestly, maybe it's a breath of fresh air that John Gruden's out. I'm gonna be a little optimistic.
I like how you said it's probably fresh air because I heard John Gruden is not shy about farting in the locker room.
Yeah, it's probably in one of those emails.
Yeah.
He's very open about farting.
He had a lot of fart jokes in there, too.
Yeah, probably explicit stuff. Probably aimed at another employee.
He said, have you ever farted so loud the deaf kid punched you?
Really?
Yeah, so it was also about farts and making fun of handicapped.
Deaf people can't hear people.
I know, but it's so violent that it shook, I guess. That's just how I took it, but
Wow.
I take offense to...
That's very offensive.
Yeah.
I say we tie him up, man.
Yeah, I say we hog tie him and put some syrup on him and feed him to the lizards.
I'm saying we walk the plank with him.
I say we send him on that Jolly Good Ranch.
Get Polydermot the pirate out there on him.
Yeah, let's have him take care of John Gruden.
You want to send him off?
Yeah, we'll send him, make him walk the plank with his undies on the back.
Who is the best head coaching candidate for the Raiders?
Eric Bieniemy.
Really? You think that's realistic?
I'm not. I feel like he'd be a good coach for... I think he'll be a good coach anywhere, but for some reason I see him as a good Raiders guy.
Black and silver, I could see it.
Yeah, he'd be... I don't know.
I like that too.
And I think he'd do stuff with that offense.
They need an African-American coach.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Who are your other candidates? Marty Schottenheimer?
Joe Brady,
Herm
the Carolina
Edwards.
Panthers.
I think they should replace John Gruden with Herm Edwards
Mm,
because that's just fitting for the Raiders to me.
yeah, it is.
Or Booger McFarland.
No. No, thanks. I like Bieniemy. Tim Brown is a guy I mentioned. I think he's a receiver coach, former Las Vegas Raider receiver, very fast guy. Joe Brady was one I mentioned. Gerard Mayo, linebackers coach for the Patriots, former New England Patriot linebacker. He might be interesting, but he's a name that was listed from what I've heard.
What about Stephania Bell?
Hey, I'm cool with that, man.
That'd be pretty cool.
She'll be the best injury person ever.
Instead,
She'll be the trainer and the coach.
yeah, instead of like coaching the game, you'd see her over with the injured player.
It'd be kind of cute, really.
It would be really cool, and I think she's very knowledgeable. So shout out Stephania Bell.
She's very sweet. I feel like she's a great human being.
I feel like she's a very, very genuine human.
Yeah, like a great mom, you know?
She feels like someone I just want to hug. And
Yeah.
maybe tell my life story to. And maybe, if she has anything she wants to tell me, she can tell me as well. And we can just bond in that way.
Yeah, I feel like you guys would hit it off very
But
much
I
so.
feel like we would have a great time.
I agree.
Just telling war stories and whatnot. Shooting the breeze, man.
Hashtag Stefania to the Raiders.
Yeah, let's start it.
Next up, biggest game of the week. Cleveland Browns versus the Los Angeles Charge.
Chugga chugga, poo poo.
That's the outcome for this one. 47 Chargers, 42 Browns.
Holy matrimony.
Big week for them boys.
Boys.
Let's cover the poop team first.
Yeah, the brown one.
Baker Mayfield, 23 of 32, 305 yards, 2 touchdowns. Nick Chubb on the ground, 21 carries, 161 yards, 1 touchdown.
Sheesh.
Kareem Hunt, 12 carries, 61 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's a thief in the night. David Njoku, huge game. 7 catches, 149 yards, and a touchdown. Peoples-Jones, 5 catches, 70 yards. And then Higgins getting in that end zone, 3 catches, 229 yards, 1 touchdown. Odell, 2 catches, 20 yards.
You still think Nick Chubb stinks?
I never said he stunk, man.
Okay, that was a joke.
You want to start? You want to get
No,
me heated?
no.
You're trying to raise my level
No,
of testosterone?
that was just a joke. That was just a barb I was throwing at you, man. I know you don't think he stinks. I know you think he's one of the best.
You're gonna start getting boiled water in my brain.
Do you think that he's worth the first round pick in fantasy now?
Second.
Fair. Nick Chubb is a freak. I just want to let everyone know that he's the best running back in the league, barring nothing. I don't care about Derrick Henry like that. He's good. He's top 3, but he ain't no Nick Chubb, man. That guy is versatile. He averaged 7 yards, almost 8 yards a carry. He was, and this Chargers team was supposed to be, pretty stout on the ground, and he just literally ripped him apart. Kareem Hunt's dang good. Just the surprising thing to me, Baker throws for 305. Odell's targeted 3 times, 2 catches, 20 yards. What's going on? I don't know, man. I think there's a lot going on behind the scenes.
Agree.
I think the head and shoulders is starting to get to Odell's head. And now that Baker has more commercials than him, he sees that as a challenge.
I think Baker thinks Odell's a fraud because he's a spokesperson for the Head and Shoulders, but he's been leaving flakes in Baker's, uniform. So he's calling him out for that, saying you're fraudulent. You don't deserve Head and Shoulders. And there's a deep, deep feud that we do not know about.
No, in all seriousness, what do you think it is? Like what is the key to getting Odell unlocked in this offense? I don't know.
I don't know either. I just think Odell's, complaining. I think Odell's like,
I think he gives up.
Feed me the ball, I need the ball, this and that. But Baker's trying to do what's best for the team, I feel like. I feel like he's more of a team player. I'm not just going to force feed you the ball. I'm going to make my reads. I'm going to throw it to the guy who's open, do these things. Like, I'm not just going to force feed you the ball. And I feel like there's some sort of, disagreement, not seeing eye to eye. And because I think in past, that Odell would have those big games because they're forcing the ball. He's seeing 13 targets. But now it's just like Baker's taking what's given to him. Like Odell's probably getting double teamed, whatever. Not going to force you the ball. And just trying to play smart football.
Odell needs to stop butt-chugging fame juice.
Okay, man. Yeah, stick on that pickle juice.
No, he needs to humble himself, He's not above anyone else. We're all human. You know what I mean? Yeah, you got to stop living off 2017 or whatever. It's time to make your mark in Cleveland, dude. You can't live off the giant hype for the whole time. You haven't been squashed on Cleveland, dude. You haven't made even ever since they've been good, you've been a non-factor, which says a lot. But I'm still holding out hope for you, man. But stop butt-chugging that fame juice, dog.
Football players cannot go Hollywood. Odell went Hollywood. He's not an actor. He's a football player. It's in his head.
The only Hollywood that can go Hollywood Brown. But we'll get to him later.
The most interesting stat of the week is this stat I'm about to share. More so than Tom Brady's, more so than the kicking. The Browns scored 42 points, had 532 yards of 0 turnovers. They are the first team in NFL history, including playoffs, to lose when having either 40 points and 0 turnovers or 40 points, 400-plus yards, and 0 turnovers. First team in NFL history of all time. Crazy.
Are you kidding me?
No jokes, man. I'm not lying about it.
Are you baffling the Buffalo?
I'm not. It's serious. That's how crazy this game is, man.
This game is just amazing. The records and the history that gets made, even no matter how outlandish it is, it's just amazing.
I think we're kind of overlooking this game. Like, we should appreciate this game. This is
AFC Championship game.
This is like one of the best NFL games of all time, and it just happened week 5. And it was like the most electric, no turnovers, like high offense games we've ever seen. And we're going to look back at this game like as an historic game. You know what I mean? Like, just crazy. But let's move on to the Chargers.
It's out.
Justin Herbert, 26 of 43, 398 yards, 4 touchdowns. He also added a rushing touchdown. Austin Eckler, 17 carries, 66 yards, 2 touchdowns. Mike Williams, 16 targets, 8 catches, 165 yards, 2 touchdowns. Big week. Keenan Allen, 9 targets, 6 catches, 75 yards. Eckler, adding 5 catches, 53 yards, and a touchdown. Donald Parham scored in the end zone as well. Thoughts on the Chargers?
Justin Herbert. Good golly gosh, is that guy phenomenal. I ain't seen anything like this.
Can't say that I have either, man.
Can Andrew Luck. Herbert's surpassed him. Who's another guy? Peyton Mayonnaise, man.
Well,
Can
hey.
him.
Hey,
Tom
hey,
Brady.
hey.
No one's done this kind of thing, man. Second year. Yeah, you know what? I'll admit it, man. I thought he was going to go through a sophomore slump. But it turns out he's going to a sophomore surge.
Okay.
I've never seen nothing like it, man. I'm bewildered.
I see that, man.
But, I'm bewildered in the best way possible, man. This guy is amazing. He's half man, half amazing. I'm going to stop, taunting on him. Eckler. I mean, this team's just got firepower everywhere you look. They got the little guy back there, Austin Eckler. 3 touchdowns, man. Mike Williams, the powerhouse outside. Keenan Allen, the quick, shifty guy. It's like they have Justice League. Herbert's like the leader. They got the Flash and Keenan Allen, sort of. Mike Williams is like the Hulk. No, maybe Austin Eckler's like the Hulk.
Who's the Batman?
Jared Cooks.
Oh, okay. I see that, man. I see him over there in the little
Batman,
shadows.
man. Because Batman doesn't have superpowers, but he's still real powerful. Jared Cook isn't,
Joey Bosa's Superman.
Yeah, he is.
The boy's different. Remember when the Chargers had all this terrible luck with injuries, losing close games? That is no longer the case anymore.
They've grown up.
Healthy team, Mike Williams, Derwin James out here balling. And they're winning close games. They're able to pull it out now with Herbert and just the talent they have now. And they improved to 4-1 for the first time in 7 years. You know, they're kind of reversing that trend. You know, it's a whole different regime, whole different attitude. And Brandon Staley, my bold prediction, Coach of the Year, baby. He is legit. He's a great guy. He's a great coach, and he's next up.
I want to shout him out for going for fourth down like 5-6 times.
Heck yeah.
That was that's crazy. That's super ultra confidence in your second year QB. Would you say Mike Williams is like Mr. Elastic?
Yeah, I'd say that.
And then Eckler's like the Hulk?
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, sorry.
Dirty stuff, man.
Yeah, he's got the dirty bird dog.
Who's Wonder Woman? Keenan Allen.
Keenan ain't.
Wonder Woman's one of the most stronger ones, man, to be honest.
She's probably the most powerful one.
Yeah. She's dirty out there with it. Hey. How impressive is it for them to drop 47 on Cleveland's D, though? That's one thing I was looking forward to, too, man. They dropped big dollars on them, on that big dollar Cleveland defense.
Yeah, it was surprising. This game was not what I expected in terms of final score. I don't know. Denzel Ward wasn't playing, was he?
He was out?
Yeah, someone got hurt during the game. And I think whoever was on Mike Williams, they exploited. And Keenan kind of had a quiet game. But they just exploited the Cleveland weakness. I think they found one early and exploited it the whole game. And, it led to a 47-42 victory, man.
Big dubs, man.
Big dubs on them tubs.
Let's move on.
Yo, I haven't taken a bath in 17 years.
Yeah, I can smell it and I can taste it.
I take a shower, man.
I taste it, man.
What have you done? Let's go. Let's move forward to the San Francisco 49ers against the Arizona Cardinals. Arizona Cardinals pulled this one out 17-10. We had some big news going. Trey Lance's debut as a starting quarterback. Let's get into it. Let's get into these numbers, see what he was all about. Trey Lance, 15-29, 192 yards, and a pick. Trey Lance on the ground, 16 rushing attempts, 89 yards. Elijah Mitchell, 9 carries, 43 yards. Deebo Samuel had 1 carry, 13 yards, and a touchdown. Trey Sermon, 1 carry, 7 yards. As far as receiving, Deebo Samuel, 9 targets, 3 catches, 58 yards. Kyle Juszczyk, 4 targets, 3 receptions, 35 yards. Brandon Ayuk, 4 targets, 2 catches, 32 yards. Yeah, it was an interesting debut for Trey Lancelot. He looked a little lost in translation in terms of passing, but that guy's a heck of an athlete, man, on the ground, making plays with his legs. At the beginning, him and Elijah Mitchell had something really good going, but they kind of went away from it. He's still a work in progress. He's a project baby, but
I say we don't beat up on Trey Lance.
I'm not trying to beat up on him.
And not you. And I mean, that was a bad time to say that because you were just saying that. But I think just in general, I mean, he's such a young guy, and he didn't play that bad.
He didn't.
I mean, 15-29 is not good, but just that 192 yards on 15 completions is like solid. Like he's looking to push the ball down the field. And then his ability on the ground. Like, he didn't look bad against his first start, Arizona defense. I mean, it was a mediocre performance, but you got to expect kind of a struggle. But I think it turned out pretty good for Trey Lance's debut.
Do you have anything you want to say more about 49ers?
Elijah Mitchell is the guy. That's the guy you want, man.
I ain't crazy and I ain't a guy.
Wow, thanks for coming out on that.
You're welcome.
But Elijah Mitchell's the guy you want on this. I would recommend trading for him, sending someone, trying to get him on your team in fantasy.
I'm going to go to the Cardinals.
Please.
Kyler Murray, 22 of 31, 239 yards and a touchdown. Rushing. Rondale Moore, 3 carries, 38 yards. James Conner, 10 carries, 29 yards and a touchdown. Chase Edmonds, 6 carries, 15 yards. Receiving, DeAndre Hopkins, 9 targets, 6 catches, 87 yards and a touchdown. Rondale Moore, 6 targets, 5 catches, 59 yards. Christian Kirk, 5 targets, 5 catches, 39 yards. Chase Edmonds, 4 targets, 3 catches, 19 yards. A.J. Green, 1 catch, 13. It was a slow day at the office for the Cardinals.
Yeah, it was. But at the end of the day, they pulled out the victory, 17-10. First time being 5-0 since 1974. That's a big deal. Very underrated defense. Kyler Murray's good. But if Kyler Murray can continue, is it time to take this team seriously? Do you think this team's legit? Do you think this team's a Super Bowl contender? Or do you think this 5-0 has a little bit of dishwasher, laundry detergent built into it?
I'm not sold on this team.
That's fair.
I do not think they're a contender, but hey, man, it's early. Who knows? I don't believe in their coach.
Wow.
I don't believe in Cliff.
Okay.
When the game starts slowing down in the playoffs and whatnot, things get real, and they get real, real quick. I don't know if this gimmicky offense can handle that. If the defense is real deal. They played against a rookie quarterback first start. San Francisco's got a good defense. I'll give them that.
They do.
They always keep them in the game. But, I'm not sold on the Cardinals, man. I'm going to be honest with you.
That's fair. Let's move on.
Yes, sir.
Next up, we have the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants. This one's a good one here.
This one hurt.
Now we got that Troy Aikman special.
Jay-Z.
Mike Glennon for the Giants. Actually, the score was Dallas 44, New York 20. A lot of injuries. A ton of injuries. We got that New York Giant. We got that G-Men sterilized. Mike Glennon, 16 of 25, 196 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 picks, filling in for the wobbly Daniel Jones. 5 for 13, 98 yards. Devontae Booker, filling in for that little Saquon Barkley. That big old Saquon Barkley. 16 carries, 42 yards, 1 touchdown. Barkley, 2 carries, 9 yards. Left on a fluky sprained ankle situation, stepping on another opponent's foot. Rolled it over, baseball on his leg. Kadarius Toney. My second favorite player in the NFL after this week. 13 targets, 10 catches, 189 yards.
Hoik.
That boy's special, man.
This game was like watching a Game of Thrones episode. You get close to characters and their roles, and you feel like you know them. And then they die. They're gone. Just like that, no warning, they're gone. They're out of your life. Saquon goes down. Fluke, as Luke said. Daniel Jones. Oh, man. That guy was out of his noggin, and it was scary. He was drooling. He was wobbling around. Kenny Golladay. People were just falling, man, and it was very, very hard to watch at points. And I did learn one thing about Kadarius Toney. The boy likes to squabble. You know what I like about football players? When they squabble. So, Kadarius, welcome to my team, man. I like you. I think you have potential to be a really good player. And I like the fact you swing at people with their helmet on. That means you a real one, and you know how to squabble. You know how to fight and throw them hands, boy. But make sure you use the left, right, left next time, boy. The 10-piece with the side of the biscuit with a little Dr. Pepper there.
GANGSTA. Gangsta, man. Kadarius Toney's a real one. I like him a lot. No eyebrows and all. He's got that grill on it.
Yeah, man. He's someone that I really respect right now, man. I don't know the logic behind throwing a punch at someone with the helmet on, but I tell you what, if he would have connected full throttle, that guy was going to go to sleep even with that helmet on, man.
Yeah, he made a lot of big plays in this game. He had a great sideline catch. He he was just doing crazy, spectacular things, and I think he's a good player. The first round pick of the Giants was very questionable, taking Tony, all this and that. But he's showing that he is a first round type of guy. I mean, I know Sterling Shepard's out, Kenny Galladay left the game, Barkley left the game, but he came into this game ready to play, and very, very impressed against the Cowboys. He looked strong. He had a great route run against Trayvon Diggs. He had him lost. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to expect from this Giants. They look like one of those preseason teams now, and they're gonna lose a handful of games now with those guys out. So not much. I love Kadarius Toney, but other than that, no more Barkley for a few weeks. Devontae Booker's just a guy, See about Daniel Jones. Over to Dallas. Dak Prescott, 22 of 32, 302 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. Zeke Elliott, back Zekeing, 21 carries, 110 yards, and a touchdown.
Zekeing and zagging.
Tony Pollard adding 14 carries, 75 yards. He lost a fumble. CeeDee Lamb, 6 targets, 4 catches, 84 yards, and a touchdown. Dalton Schultz back at it, 6 catches, 79 yards. Amari Cooper, 3 catches, 60 yards, and a touchdown. Yeah, man, what do you got out of there?
I'm not a truck driver, but I think these Cowboys got potential.
Yeah.
I think this is a real contending team.
For the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Oh, gee.
This defense has impressed me very thoroughly. They got a superstar stud in Diggs.
Oh, now you're saying this?
Yeah, that boy's getting him picked left and right and center. He should be a wide receiver, too.
Hey, come on, man.
Zeke's back. Tony Pollard is a freak backup. Seems like he averages like 6 yards a carry. Dak's a solid, good quarterback. They got weapons. And they don't even have, what's his name, Gallup. I think this is a good team. I know we say it happens a lot, but this team seems more well-rounded and more dog-like.
Yeah,
But then again, I'm not a truck driver.
To me, it's not a matter of whether the Cowboys can win a division. To me, it's a matter of how many games they can win to get home field advantage in the playoffs. How early can they clinch? This team is by far and away the best team in the NFC East, weak division, I get it. But this Cowboys team is built for it, man. The defense is improved. Their offense is probably the best offense in the NFL. Most balanced. Not having to rely on Dak and Zeke and Tony Pollard looks good. But Trayvon Diggs, that guy's an interception machine. Every game he's got a pick. Just put him at receiver. We've seen Deion Sanders. Trayvon Diggs was recruited by Alabama as a receiver. Later, Nick Saban saying, hey, you got these things, the intangibles to be a great quarterback. You got the size, you got the speed, you got the skill. Trayvon Diggs didn't like it. He cried about it. Hey, I'm a receiver. Ultimately, Nick Saban was right. Was the perfect spot for him. He's now a top 5 cornerback in the NFL. But let's see him a little bit on offense. Let's see a little Stephon Diggs on offense for the Cowboys.
I think the reason he has so many picks is because he runs the routes better than the wide receivers.
That's a good point. He's already there for him.
He's already there. He's already taking it back to the house. He's already there. He's got hands.
He doesn't even look like he's a big corner.
He's big.
He looks like Stephon Diggs, like he's a receiver almost.
Yeah, he's a big guy. You can't miss him out there, man.
Long arms. That pick was nasty. He reached out and got it on the fingers,
That guy's a freak.
He's a freak. Yeah.
He's a freeloader.
Moral of the story, he's a freak. Next up,
we got the Buffalo Bills versus the Kansas City Chiefs, man. The rematch. What we were all waiting for. The Buffalo Bills came out on top 38-20, man. Let's go on the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen. 15 of 26, 315 yards, 3 touchdowns, averaged 21 yards a throw. Josh Allen on the ground, 11 attempts, 59 yards a touchdown. Zach Mott's 11 attempts, 37 yards. Dawson Knox, 4 targets, 3 catches, 117 yards, and a touchdown. Stephon Diggs, 5 targets, 2 catches, 69 yards. Zach Moss, 4 targets, 3 catches, 55 yards. Emmanuel Sanders, 5 targets, 3 catches, 54 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Statement game for Buffalo.
Yo, this was a statement.
Big statement. NFL's on notice.
Period.
Went over to Arrowhead, Kansas City. Stormy, rainy, wet.
Lightning.
That's a disadvantage, especially in an away game, delay. But they came in here and they made a statement that the best team in the NFL resides in the western part of New York, the Buffalo Bills.
That was a proper butt kicking by the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, Dawson Knox, wide open on a long touchdown. Throwing a dart to Emmanuel Sanders, that deep one was a dart. He's throwing them dots out there, as the boys would say.
And he's also hurdling defenders, man.
Yeah, they're using him like Lamar Jackson down there in the red zone.
Yeah, he's looking good, man. He's looking really good. Buffalo's looking really good. The defense is a real deal.
Yeah.
Everyone was saying, oh, they did it against backups. They did it against bottom feeders, man. They did it against Patrick Mahomes. We're about to get into little Patrick right here.
Yeah, they avenged their championship game loss, and they came back, throwing bows.
Yeah, they came off the top shelf with the elbow to the throat.
Yeah, that's Rey Mysterio versus Kane off the top.
Yeah, that's The Undertaker versus Ric Flair.
Yeah, we're about to get some of that steamroll.
We're about to get Andre the Giant on Little Wee Man.
I'm going to get one of those spring rolls with shrimp and dip it in the peanut oil.
That sounds good, man.
Thanks. Yeah, it does.
Patrick Mahomes. 33 of 54. 272 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. He also had 8 carries for 61 yards. Darrell Williams, 5 carries for 27. Clyde, sprained MCL, I think.
Womp, womp.
Yeah, it hurts, man. He was on a good streak. Receiving, Mecole Hardman, 12 targets, 9 catches, 76 yards. Tyreek Hill, 13 targets, 7 catches, 63 yards. Travis Kelce, 10 targets, 6 catches, 57 yards, and a touchdown. Byron Pringle, 2 catches, 11 yards, and a touchdown. But let's get down to the nitty-gritty, man. Patrick Mahomes, all those plays in the last 2 years that were crazy plays that were on ESPN, played over and over again, saying this guy is a magician, they're starting to bite him in the butt. These no looks, these throw it up, yeah, my receiver's going to get it, ain't working. We're catching on to your drift, man. You're going to have to start playing smarter football. It seems like you have 2 picks. A lot of them don't make sense, and you need to go reevaluate your game. This isn't the peanut league. This isn't pee-wee football, man. These are grown men you're playing against. And you messed with the dog too much, he's going to bite. And this is what the NFL's biting back at Patrick Mahomes. They're catching up to his antics. And he needs to reevaluate his little, jargon plays, man. They don't always work. Most of the time they don't, but he just got lucky the last 2 years. It's time for him to start playing quarterback again.
Wow. Yeah, there was a lot said in there, man. But the usual superhuman Patrick Mahomes has revealed his mortal nature.
His Achilles heel, if you will.
But I don't think it's... I agree with most of what you're saying. He does deserve a lot of this fault. He tries to do a little too much. But I'm going to give credit to Buffalo's defense. And I'm also going to say that the Chiefs' defense is terrible. It's kind of forcing Mahomes to try to do way too much. Try to do, the crazy little plays that he does. And it's making him look like he's vulnerable. Not having that defense, having to play catch-up. But that recipe, having to play catch-up and against a great defense like Buffalo, is just a recipe for, not being able to pull it out. Having to catch up against the Bills, scoring on you so much, and then having to go against that defense, it's just not going to work. And to me, KC's a little bit in trouble, being 2-3. The Chargers in first place, they're red hot. And the Chiefs are the only team in the league giving up 29-plus points in a game, every single game this year. And it's concerning. I would be a little bit concerned. It looks like they're definitely beatable this year.
Amen.
Clyde Edwards-Hilaire's out. I think he's going on the IR for 3 weeks minimum. Does Darrell Williams come in, fill in that role, catching, running, goal line, 3 down back?
See, this could be a mirage. He could be that guy. But they got a little guy named Jerick McKinnon.
Good point.
I think he is a good fit in the Chiefs for, his receiving and his speed. So we'll see, man. We'll see. I mean, I'd still pick up Darrell as the guy, but I'd like to see what if they add a little sprinkle of Jerick in there.
Yeah, very athletic. Next up, last but not least, the Baltimore Colts versus the Baltimore Ravens.
I spy with my little eye.
Carson Wentz.
Yes.
The Colts are up first, man. Sorry, I think I know where you were going with that.
Daniel.
We're going Carson Wentz, 25 of 35, 402 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Oh, someone slapped me.
There's a lot of big plays on that end.
There's a lot of big people.
Jonathan Taylor, 15 carries, 53 yards and a touchdown. Marlon Mack, 5 carries, 47 yards. Let's get him out there. Trade him. Nyheim Hines, 4 carries, 18 yards. Jonathan Taylor, early and often, big catch for a touchdown. He had 3 of them for 116 yards and a touchdown. Michael Pittman, 6 catches, 89 yards and a touchdown. Paris Campbell, 4 catches, 56. Mo Alley Cox, big bro, 3 catches, 50 yards. Zach Pascal, 3 catches, 48 yards.
I think this is what we expected from the Colts all along. Carson Wentz being a good quarterback, getting Jonathan Taylor his touches, whether it be on the ground or in the air. Marlon Mack getting some work in there, very efficient. Michael Pittman being a pit bull. Paris Campbell got a little side in there. Mo Alley Cox getting his due, man. That guy is humongo, man. That guy is a huge human, man. But this is this is what I like to see from the Colts. It was kind of maybe hopefully this is like a turning point. They lost the game, but heck of a effort.
Their first half was awesome. Like, they killed the first half. They looked good. They were moving the ball. Wentz wasn't under pressure. Jonathan Taylor's a freak. And being able to spread the ball out. Like, you're not having to force Pittman. You're not forcing this. I mean, there's like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 guys with a target. Like, just being able to spread it out, play, find the open guy, give him the look. That's good football. They started off good, but, unfortunately they lost the game.
The Colts could have had a fumble recovery for a touchdown, but they called Darius Leonard with a forward lateral.
Yeah.
It looked backwards to me, but
it's moving so fast,
Yeah, I think that was weird.
Very weird.
But the game probably would have been over at that point. But good job to you, Frank Reich.
Nyheim Hines needs more touches. So does Jonathan Taylor. Stop giving the ball to Marlon Mack. Trade him already.
Know what I mean?
Know what I'm saying?
Nadine.
Let's move over to the historic night of Lamar Jackson.
I spy with my little eye.
Lamar Jackson
Freak totes.
Deserves the MVP of the NFL just for this week.
I think he deserves a gold jacket for this week.
Yes, I agree.
Phenomenal. That guy was spitting the pigskin. He was running the ball, commanding. It was a feat in itself just looking at that man in the eyes. Struggled the whole first half, came out here and really got things done. That's what great players do. And Lamar's statement game, 442 yards, 4 touchdowns. The guy's a barn burner. Sorry for taking that, but you go ahead.
Oh, Lamar Jackson's a running back. Lamar Jackson should play wide receiver. Yeah, how about Lamar Jackson, 37 of 43, 442 yards, 4 touchdowns. Lamar Jackson overcame the largest deficit of his career of 19 points, and he set the NFL record for completion percentage, 86%, in a 300-yard passing game and a 40-attempt passing game. 86%? I thought he couldn't throw the football. That's what I'm talking about, Lamar. Statement game. MVP. He's back, and he's a great quarterback.
Yeah.
He also added 14 carries, 62 yards. He lost a fumble, but it doesn't matter. Latavius Murray, 6 rushes, 17 yards. Let's go over to the receiving.
Oy.
We saw a lot of passing yards from Lamar. Let's check out who was on the receiving end. Mark Andrews, 13 targets, 11 catches, 147 yards, 2 touchdowns. He looked phenomenal. That's the Mark Andrews we know and love. Hollywood Brown, 10 targets, 9 catches, 125 yards, 2 scores. Jimmy Galapagos, that's crazy. Devin Duvernay, 4 catches, 45. Sammy Watkins, 2 catches, 35. He got lopped on one of them. Just a lot of yards, catches, efficiency.
Yeah, it's weird. Even though the Colts were winning, I felt that the Ravens were going to win that game.
Really?
I know it sounds like, I'm boasting.
Cliche.
Yeah, I'm boasting, but it really I felt that it was just something in the air, man. And when Calais Campbell, man, biggest player of the game, blocked that field goal, which would have put him out of reach, that was huge. The Ravens just wanted, man. They wanted it. Lamar wanted it. Like, it was a show to behold, and it was beautiful because I like Lamar Jackson a lot, and he is a QB, and I have said some very, very harsh things to him. But I love you, Lamar, and yeah, man. Marquise Brown might be turning into something good.
Yeah, he had a great game. He's been really good.
He's been very solid.
I mean, he was a first-round pick. He's flashy. He's got that big wheel speed. He's very fast, actually. And we're finally seeing him come into his own. I know he's kind of like the number one receiver there. But just being able to put up the big numbers. He's inconsistent the last few years, but seeing him put it together, emerging as a great deep threat, great target, it's very nice to see. It's nice to see Lamar throwing the football and being efficient and being a good quarterback and getting groovy.
Yeah, what a great week. Or a great way to end the football week on a Monday night.
Perfect.
With a great, great classic game with a lot of scoring and a lot of ups and downs. It was beautiful, man.
It was a great week of football, man. It was
I'll tell you
exciting.
What, man, I'm glad to be here. Glad to be a part of it. You got anything else you want to say?
Yeah, I want to say, John Gruden, I'll see you next year.
You won't see him next year.
Never mind.
Yeah, you probably won't see. The only place you'll find John Gruden is Hooters on a Sunday, man.
Yeah, and then Monday through Friday, he's probably dumpster diving.
I wouldn't be surprised, man. It's going to be interesting to see where he goes.
Look forward to more, NFL content, but basketball is right away. I think a week away from today. Get some basketball content out for you fellas and boys and girls and dogs and humans.
Yeah, we'll probably put one out tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like our conference rankings and stuff.
Potentially, yeah. We'll see where we go with there. Definitely another basketball one or two.
You say potato, I say potato.
Yeah, I say lemon, you said lamad.
Yes, very good. But thank you guys for listening to another episode of Forget What You Heard. Thank you for support. We love you guys with all our might. Thanks for listening. Peace, love, and happiness.
Chardon.
John.